Welcome along to the shoutiest segment on a multitude of Irish platforms. It's the scintillating, it's the stupefying, it's the splendido crappy quiz. Every Friday we pit three of Team Off the Ball up against each other in our quiz of sporting factoids at the end of the week. So allow me to welcome tonight's contestants. Our first contestant tonight is fresh from a romantic sojourn in Rome, where he spent many an hour wandering the winding streets surrounding Piazza San Pietro. I don't even know where that is. Thinking about life's little things such as the sweet sound of the birds singing. He appreciated the best bruschetta. Do you like my pronunciation? Yeah. Money can buy. He saw the most magnificent Michelangelo masterpieces and felt at one with the city for which Nero and Augustus and Tiberius himself once ruled. It's ciao to you, Tommaso Tony.
Oh, hello.
Tommaso Rooney, even.
Tommaso Rooney, yeah. Ciao, how are you all doing?
It sounds actually Irish, Tommaso.
Tommaso, yeah.
Tommaso Rooney.
Rome. The Cacio e Pepe, the pasta we had. My God.
I thought that was going to be a painting.
That's his breakfast.
It's a lovely city. Should have taken the week off instead of being here on a Friday.
What was the story with the pasta?
So Barbara, who works in the Pat Kenny show with Chief, her friend went to university in Rome. Actually, I think he's actually from Rome. But he sent on recommendations and we got a hold of them, and they were the greatest recommendations I've ever got a hold for anywhere. They were just, the food was so good. Wherever he sent us, there was no tourists around. They were kind of like down dingy alleyways in Rome, the back arse of the city, like, and it was class. The food was so good.
Said the man from Meath Hill, it was class.
It was very good.
Okay, any inquiries about hacks for life in Rome, send them straight
to
Tommaso
Rooney. I've got recommendations there for everyone.
Got the recommendations ready to go. In the middle seat, and it's always appropriate to have Meath and Dublin people beside each other, is the Dublin GA Minister of Propaganda, and he was in the middle of it this week on Twitter. Answering to his overlord Jim Gavin, he sends out important messaging such as Croke Park is a neutral venue, money can't buy you Brian Fenton's talent, and cultures are smelly. It's the fiend of Nafina, Darren Cleary.
I mean, I have such an issue with most of that.
None of it is inaccurate, though. The only
As a Laois woman, I have none.
It's all inaccurate. Croke Park is not neutral. It's Dublin's home ground. Culture should get on with it. We own it. It's ours.
Oh.
Get over it.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on Twitter this week, wasn't there?
There was. Although it was probably only the second worst hot take on Twitter this week. Shane Stapleton's Claire were a fluke was the worst hot take of all this week on Twitter.
Staple's out doing himself every week.
Yeah, well, he does like to walk himself into it, in fairness. Yeah.
Piers Morgan of GAA punditry.
At Shane Saint on Twitter if you want to give him abuse.
Okay, and our final contestant tonight is limbering up for another evening of faux outrage here on the Crappy Quiz. Just before we came on air, he was like, "Gah! I hate sharing lifts with staff members that aren't on-air talents like me." And he shouted, "Gah! Interns these days. This cup of coffee is 2 degrees warmer than I like it." You wouldn't like this guy when he's angry. It's Adrian, who's your daddy, Barry.
Nothing worse than too hot coffee. I don't know how many coffee shops.
Hashtag first world.
Honestly, there's like you go into proper coffee shops who should know that milk is at a certain temperature, and they burn the crap out of your milk.
But surely too cold coffee is worse. At least the coffee's going to cool down if it's too hot.
Come back to a cup of coffee 3 hours later and been quite content to drink
Don't
it.
even start me on coffee shops. I'm a tea drinker. You go into, the overly qualified baristas who have been all over the world learning their craft, and they give you a tea bag in a cup, and they never give you anywhere to put your tea bag. So you always have to go back and say, "Sorry, would you mind giving me a saucer to put the tea bag on?" Yeah. They expect you to throw it on the table. So baristas out there, please, would you think of the hipster baristas? Would you think of the tea drinkers? Because this is a tea drinking country. No matter what the hipsters like to think.
Us Italians, myself and Tommy.
Harry's the line. I'm telling you, the cappuccino in Rome, boys.
Were you in Rome this week? You haven't said it once.
What was the coffee like?
Tommy, tell the truth. You brought your own tea bags.
Be a 15.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Harry's the lines.
Oh, Barry's. Barry's red. Absolutely Barry's red, yeah. And that's not an ad for Cork.
Builder's
Cork
tea.
GA.
It's the builder's tea.
I actually drink Barry's tea, but it is.
You strike me as someone who'd bring Galty sausages on away for a weekend just because you'd feel like you're home too much.
Why would you say that about me?
Because some country people do that.
No, because you're a country, that's what it is.
Some country people do that. I live beside you on Dorset Street. I'm as much of a dub as you are.
You're not.
Well, I was for a couple of years.
About an hour.
Yeah. Anyways, I never
Because
broadcast
you're
the
off stuff
sausage
from
bit.
the
All right. Stop fighting, you two. We haven't even got into the questions yet. Okay, so.
He's so nervous he hasn't even cheated yet.
Well, I've been warned. I have been warned.
I've never. Whoa! What do you mean you've been warned? I've never cheated on this quiz.
I've just been warned that you have trouble averting your eyes.
This bloody seat. I've asked, can I be moved to the other side of the studio?
He's actually refusing to look at you.
He's like,
I'm looking
he's
here.
looking the other way because I said to him, don't look here. Okay, all right, let's get started. As ever, the format is the classic crappy quiz with 4 questions each. After 4 rounds, there's a trivia equivalent of taking every game as it comes. ACA, the also known as the rapid fire round. Podcast crappy quiz on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, at offtheball.com. Give us 5 out of 5, even if that doesn't represent your actual opinion, and it actually may be more than any of them we're going to score tonight. And please send any questions you have via postcard. Do people still use those?
Yeah.
To Crappy Quiz Quizmaster at Off the Ball Towers, Marconi House, Diggs Lane, Dublin 2. Yeah, I'm amazed at the references constantly to send us in.
We're single-handedly keeping on post going. To be honest with you.
And Darren here is the city person. He doesn't even know what a postcard is.
I've actually sent many postcards in my life. I usually used to go on holidays, and it would be one of my things. I would send a postcard back to a friend from another friend that would usually be one of the rude pictured postcards, and then get the other person in trouble.
Oh, I like it. That's a good one.
Why are you sending that to my house?
That's a good one.
Out myself as the postcard bandit. I'm
God,
sorry.
you will let a lot go about yourself this week.
You're
true,
the
actually.
Amelie of postcard sending.
You know Darren got barred from a bakery on Dorset Street before?
It's
Really?
from Condor.
From Condor. He told the story on AM this week. You'll have to listen back to it. But yeah, got in big trouble. It was over a Barbie cake.
Thunders.
Well, give
I don't think it was Thunders, was it?
I can't say
You
whether
never
or not
said,
it was
Thunders.
Because he's been sneaking in and out of the bakery recently.
I had to go back
Well,
there.
given what he's given his sleuth talent for sending postcards, we look. I can only imagine what he was up to. Okay, let's get going. Round 1, the boring questions round. Never multiple choice, and we'll start straight away with Tommy. It's Cheltenham next week.
It is. I'm not looking.
Can you tell me which Irishman was last year's leading jockey?
Which Irishman was last year? I really should know this, shouldn't I?
I know this.
I need a second here.
No, you don't. Come on, quickly.
Garrity.
Anybody else?
Panic there.
Ruby.
Ruby, I was going to
No, it was
Ruby was
Davy
injured.
Russell.
Davy Russell,
Davy
yeah,
Russell,
yeah.
an absolute stormer. He was a famous Cheltenham firm.
Garrity was injured as well, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah, he
now,
broken his leg.
next one, Darren.
Yeah, I can't believe.
Yeah, well, I have to say that was an easy one. That was a gimme. It was only one of 3, let's face it. Darren, Leitrim have been one of the stories. You see, we give you a lovely. We knew you wanted this story. It's one of the stories of Gaelic football with promotion secured to Division 3 of the Alliance Leagues. But can you tell me which other county has already secured a top 2 place in Division 4?
Oh God, it's so easy.
Waterford.
Oh my God, Darren. You really don't bother with anyone outside of Dublin. It was Derry.
They're playing them in the final. Derry.
Jesus.
Yeah. Question 1 for
Outside
Adrian.
Division 2.
Adrian, here are we going for a full set of misses on the first round? Manchester
let's
United
face it.
are partying like it's 1999 this week, but can you please give me the 3 teams they beat in the knockout stages of the 1999 Champions League en route to victory? That's a ridiculous question.
Juventus,
Yeah.
Bayern Munich,
No.
Real Madrid.
Oh, you were so close. You were so close. Juventus, Bayern Munich, and Inter Milan. Oh, tough one.
That was
To be fair, I know I say this every time.
Clean gave it there.
But I do think it's yeah.
No, in fairness, that was not a balanced round.
It's generally stacked against me.
But like,
Although,
at least
given Darren's knowledge of GA outside Dublin, that was a really tough question for him as well.
That was a tough question.
you can like take on the mantle of the rest of the counties in the All Ireland
I couldn't even
Championship.
figure out who Brian Fenton was last week in a mystery voice round.
I knew he was a Dublin footballer.
But that's easy. They all sound the same.
They're all saying the same thing as well. And we'll move on. Brilliant scoring in the first round. Tommy, 0. Darren, 0. And Adrian.
Well, I was 0 last week, Cliona, so
0. 3 zeros to
I haven't got high
start.
hopes here.
Okay, round 2. The sporting venues named after famous women round. To celebrate National Women's Day and International Women's Day even, this round will test your knowledge on some of the most famous sporting arenas to be named after a woman. Question 2 in this round for Tommy. Markovich Park is Sligo GA's HQ, but which Irish group performed there in 2003?
What sort of a question is that? What's that got to do with the fact that it's named after Constance Markovich? Can I have that question one more time because I've been completely thrown?
Markievicz Park is Sligo's GAHQ, but which Irish group performed there in 2003?
So it's tenuous links to grounds.
It had to have been Westlife.
It was pretty. I mean, if you didn't get that, your man,
Which Irish band
the two
from
Sligo
Sligo
lads would be up here. The two Sligo lads
Sligo.
would be, it'd be charging the place. So yeah, half them are Sligo. Yeah,
Got that right, didn't I?
3/4.
Yeah, you got it right. One point. You're doing well already. Next question for Darren.
4 of them.
Was there? I thought there was 5.
Oh, there
used
was
to be
5.
How many were there?
Remember
Then they
Brian
went down
Nine
to
left.
4.
They're down to 4.
2003 there was...
They've got 3
5
Sligo men and 1 dub.
Okay, 60% in 2003.
It's not 60%, Tom.
He had to get the dub in.
In
He had
Sligo?
to get the dub in.
75%.
But there was 5 in 2003. Brian McFadden was definitely there in 2003.
You don't count.
Look, I haven't followed Westlife since I came back. So.
From Rome.
Okay, we'll move on. We draw a veil over Westlife there and Tommy's affiliation to Westlife or any Irish boy bands. And we'll move on. Question 2, round 2 for Darren. Suzanne Lengen is one of the main show courts at Roland Garros, Court of Suzanne Lengen. Who is the last French woman to be crowned champion at the French Open, even?
There's a deer in the headlights moment.
It's all right. Who was the last French woman to be crowned champion at the French Open? It's a specialist question, in fairness, probably, but if you know any famous French...
If you know, you
tennis
should win the
players.
entire quiz and it should be called off.
Well, I got a pretty tough question as well. So.
Yours was about Westlife.
Ridiculously easy.
With a big hint in the clue.
Oh, God.
There's a hint in that clue as well, in that question.
Can I hear the question once more?
Court Suzanne Lengen is I can never say it, is one of the main show courts at Roland Garros. Who is the last French woman to be crowned champion
Come on,
at the French
Darren,
Open?
get on with it.
Is it her?
You're looking at the quiz mistress here. I can't give you the answers.
That's your answer, obviously.
Time is up. Time is up.
Yeah,
Time is
that's my
up.
answer.
No, it isn't.
Amelie Mauresmo.
No. Actually, believe it or not, Mary Pierce in 2000.
Right.
Yes, there you go.
Because her name is Mary Pierce, I never
Yes,
think about
exactly. It
her as
was
being French.
an unexpected twist. Probably most people would have gone from Resma, I'd say, as well. Okay, Adrian, you're up.
Or Darren, who just hadn't a clue.
I liked his honesty there. I thought it was good. Adrian, next question from round 2 for you. Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London is now home to West Ham after much rowing. Name the other 2 football clubs who were in the running to relocate to what is now called the London
This is
Stadium.
another absolutely ridiculous
It's
question.
easy.
Oh, no, it's just an
London
easy one.
clubs.
I had an Irish boy band. You've got London Football Club.
French Open tennis star.
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon aren't a club anymore.
No,
AFC
that's
Wimbledon.
a no.
Well, the new
It's
one.
actually had 2
No,
clubs
that's a
covered
no.
there.
Anybody else?
Spurs and Millwall. Millwall
Good
was one of them.
guesses, good guesses all, but it was actually Leighton Orient.
I never would have got that.
Yeah, tough one.
And look, chaps,
Everyone
1-0
knew
nil.
That was,
Spurs.
to be fair now,
You know, let's keep
name
moving
3, I've twice had to name 3 teams.
Every week you win.
I have to say, it is
sitting in that
in order of people to my left. Tommy 1-0 for the other 2. I'm sorry, guys. Let's move on. The trick is to move on. You know, that's what Joe
Build a
Schmidt will be
bridge.
saying tomorrow.
That's fair
Something
enough.
bad happens,
Yeah.
move on. Round 3, the Dutch courage round. After Ajax's ruthless jesting, who writes these? Jesting of Real Madrid from this year's Champions League. This round will test your knowledge on the slew of footballing icons from the Netherlands down through the years. So we're talking Holland, we're talking beautiful game. Here we go. Tommy, first up, 3 Dutchmen have won the Premier League Golden Boot Award. Name them.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Ruud van Nistelrooy. 2. Don't be saying, come on, give me a second here now.
No, I have
It's
no.
easy.
I'm impressed. I'm
Come
impressed.
on.
I am
Robin van
impressed.
Persie.
No.
What do you mean, no, Darren Cleary? Sit back down, pal. You got to...
Bergkamp.
No. Darren.
Brilliant. Van Persie,
Pat.
Van Nistelrooy and Hasselbank.
Look
Superb
how thrilled
answer.
he is. Oh my
To be
God.
fair, that is good. That
That is a great
That's
answer.
impressive,
I'd nearly be
yeah.
giving him a bonus for that.
Hasselbank was the
Brilliant
hardest.
answer. And he had it first.
I think it was joint, actually, that season.
Brilliant, yes.
He's seen the questions again. There's
No,
no way he doesn't
in
do
fairness,
that.
I have to say to listeners, he is looking far into the distance. You know,
I have never
There's a mirror
cheated on
over
this.
there.
like a
He's
Meath man wishing for a Leinster title. He's looking well off into the distance. Okay,
fired.
Never know.
third question for Darren. Round 3. The Netherlands last made the World Cup final in 2010. but only one of their players made the team of the tournament in South Africa that year, getting a place in midfield. Who was it?
Robin.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, Darren. It was indeed Wesley Schneider.
Should have gone to Amsterdam this weekend.
Yeah, you should be answering all the questions this round, maybe. Okay, and now we go to Adrian. Third question for you. Name the last Dutchman to manage a game in the Premier League.
Too easy.
There is obviously a very obvious answer here.
Isn't there always?
So is it him or am I missing somebody?
Name the last Dutchman to manage a game in go. They say go with your gut.
Is it the man Jose described as the worst manager in history?
Name the last Dutchman to manage a game in the Premier League is all I'm saying here. That's all I can give you.
In the absence of being able to come up with anybody else, I'm going to go with Louis van Gaal.
De Boer.
The worst manager in history described. It's not De Boer.
No.
Who is it?
Ronald Koeman.
God, we all forgot about Ronald.
You all forgot.
It's forgettable.
I actually thought when you said it's the obvious one, I thought that was the one you were going to go for straight away.
Oh, it's never the obvious one Adrian said.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Everyone always forgets Ronald.
JP out there, can you give us the scores, please? It's 2-0.
2-0.
Tommy, that visit to Rome has done you wonders.
I know.
It's got
Reading
the brain
the
ticking
answer.
over.
Rejuvenated, hasn't he? He's just going to spring in a step again.
Okay, here we go, guys. This round is so difficult that I am finding this one difficult to even get my head around, as always. But anyway, we'll go for it, lads. Right, round 4, the fun-free magic number round. I know you love this because you have the Piano Louise ready and the bit of paper and everything, and you're ready to go. And Tommy can't see the final number over here. We're all covered. Contestants get 3 points.
I love that you're
for getting
covering it
the number exactly right. Yeah, you're like 3 lads in primary school doing a spelling test.
Nobody's cogging, right?
Okay, so contestants get 3 points for getting the number exactly right. We're going to ask them a series of questions. They have to add them up and the numbers. If no one manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points. The second closest gets 1 point, etc. Now, I'm going to state that we can only accept the answer that's written on your paper, lads. Do you hear me?
Okay.
I'm also going to have to ask for your pens once the music ends. Pound Louis down. Okay. So, if you don't mind, give us the following number. The number of points Ireland scored in their Six Nations encounter with France last year. So that's the number of points Ireland scored against France last year in the Six Nations. I hope everyone at home is writing this down a little bit of paper as well. Or if you're in a coffee shop, like Adrian usually is, you can have the serviette out. You can jot it down serviette. So the number of Ireland points against France in Six Nations last year. Okay. Have we got a little nod for that? Are you ready?
Yeah. You can keep rolling
good.
here,
Plus the number of All-Irelands won by Rena Buckley across both codes. She was on Lake Gale this week. What a woman. Great programme. Next up, the number of players on a field hockey team. I love that we have clarified that this is field hockey and not ice hockey. Field hockey team. And the fourth addition to this would be the number of European Cups / Champion League won by Real Madrid in the club's entire history. So the number of European Cups won by Real Madrid in the club's entire history. Your 30 seconds.
I have my answer done.
Good man.
All right, but we're giving you 30 seconds now as we listen to a nice little piece of background music to help you relax your brains.
Here we go.
What was the hockey question, Cliona?
Number of players on a hockey team. Field hockey team.
Bubbles, bangles, hear how they jing-jing-a-ling-a.
Now, if Adrian hasn't got an answer written down here, you can't accept it.
No, don't worry about that.
Okay. Time is up, and actually, Tommy was finished so quickly he gave me the recipe for penne arrabbiata in the background there. That music was ticking along there. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at your answers, starting with Tommy.
Starting with Adrian. What'd you go for?
Starting with Adrian.
I believe the answer is 47, but I've gone for 45
Why would you do that?
because I just needed to lowball a little bit to make sure I didn't go bust.
Well, you're not bust.
Excellent.
I can tell you that, you're not bust. Okay, Darren, next up.
30.
Oh, God, lads. Even try and come
You're
close
all
to it.
not bust. You're very conservative this
Right,
week.
you're back in the game then if I'm
Bring
bust.
2 numbers. Which one do we want to take?
You're really desperate for a point here,
What have you
obviously,
got
to
written
catch
down?
up.
54.
Tommy, Oh, you're not bust either, so neither of
Was it
you
55?
are bust. And the answer is
66.
57.
Damn it.
So that
Close.
makes Mr. Rooney closest.
So 4-1-0.
Yes.
In the lead.
4-1-0.
Back in the game, boys.
I'm in the lead.
4-1-0.
I'm on 4.
He's on 4.
Wait, I get a point.
Yeah, neither of us went bust though.
Yeah, they get points, don't they?
One each.
Oh, sorry.
Do we?
Yeah. That was 1 point. No, it's only 1 point for the nearest. Dazzler,
if
you went
no
way
one-
too low there,
sorry,
pal.
contestant got 3 points. Nobody gets 3 points. If no one manages that, the nearest contestant who doesn't go bust gets 2 points.
Yeah.
The second closest gets 1 point.
That was
So
Adriano.
Yes, so Adrian should get 1 point. I'm sorry, you don't get a point there. He's calling you Durano now,
What
which
were
I
the-
kind of like.
What were the answers?
He's gone so Italian, it's unbelievable here. So the answers actually just quickly were 15 for the rugby.
France, yeah.
the number
18
for Rena, yeah. Field hockey,
Is it 14?
11.
11.
I have 11
the
written down.
formation's
I have
almost
11
exactly the
written
same
down.
as soccer. They
Do you
play
know
the
what?
same formation as soccer.
I didn't
yeah.
listen to that Madrid question properly
Okay.
because I wrote down 10.
How many was it?
It must have been 13. wasn't it?
13? Bang on.
I wrote
Yeah.
down 10. That's where I went wrong, lads. Should look at.
You home doing
cheating all
homework for that
day.
now?
What do you mean cheating, Darren? Don't be throwing these slurs my way.
Why is it, Tommy?
Okay, so JP, the
can't
scores.
go from 0
let's
one week to
clarify
lead
what
the
the
next
scores
week.
are.
Be
4
questioning my
for Tommy,
dominance
0
in
for
this
Darren.
quiz.
I'm questioning your
And
integrity.
Adrian is off the. He's
One.
actually on the scoreboard at
I'm
this
up,
stage.
I'm up
He's
and
up,
running,
he's up
Tina,
and
I'm
running.
Like the
Okay,
Dubs.
so it is safe to say that the man in the middle needs Darren. You need a big score here.
Do you know what we should do?
Confident.
We should just chop up a grant and send him a bit of money, and maybe in 10 years' time he'll have a couple of crappy quizzes behind him.
Be moaning about that as well if you give us any more money.
Saucer,
Tommy in two, is that what
saucer
we said?
of milk to Mr. Rooney's table there, please.
He went from last to first.
Spoken like a bitter mead
Paul
man.
Kimmage was here. He questioned whether Tommy's doping. Intellectual doping.
That'd be great.
Or dope, as in Sister Michael in Dairy Girls. Okay, right, off we go. So we're going to round you up here and go for the rapid fire. Our winner tonight will be decided in the round that separates the men from the boys, the Adrian Mutus from the Adrian Barrys. It's the no theme in particular, ridiculously easy
of dopers,
rapid
Adrian
fire round.
Speaking of dope, Adrian Barry.
Now, the score you get in this round will be added to the score in the previous round. There will be 40 seconds for everyone to answer from the same set of questions. So we're going to start with the person with the highest number of points, then on to the person in second, and then on to the person in last. Darren, you're going to clean up here, I'm telling
Really,
you.
it should start with the person on last to put pressure on Tommy.
Yeah, agree with
I
that.
think you should
question
sort
the
of
format here.
yeah.
Clean, let's just get going here.
If you get a question correct, I will ask you another question. Keep asking you questions until you get one wrong. Once you get a question wrong, and move on to the next person, and your incorrect answer also means the deduction of 1 point. See, there's the sting in the tail,
Harsh.
isn't it? Yeah, that is harsh. That is harsh. Not as harsh as some of the questions tonight, in fairness.
I feel like PSG here.
So we're going to start with Tommy, as you are the
Financially.
leader for the moment. Leader in the clubhouse, Tommy. Your time starts with a Ciara McGeehan, I'm usually on the verge of throwing up.
I'm usually on the verge of throwing up.
Ciara McGeehan won bronze at the European Indoors last weekend, but who won her race?
Lauren Moore.
Yes. Who's ranked number 2 in women's tennis?
Azarenka.
Wrong. Move on to
Adrian.
Osaka?
which jockey is currently second in the National Hunt Champion jockey standings?
Davy Russell.
Oh, Adrian.
Come on, you got to keep
Wrong.
going. You got to keep
We're going to Darren.
Yes.
Lisa Ashton competed against men in which sport earlier this year?
Netball.
Oh, I was going to give you a hint and say think Christmas.
Don't be giving hints, Lena.
Back to Tommy, who was named World Rugby Referee in 2017.
Was it Joey Neville?
Yes, it was. Which skier retired this year, having won a record? Oh, time's up already.
I think I won, Clean. I'm not going to answer that
Wow,
question. So
that went
there we go.
fast.
Only I realised that all the answers were women. I would have not answered Davy Russell.
Okay, the
Feels like
final.
it's set up for you to fail, Adrian.
I think that's it, lads.
That's it.
Okay, no, I think I've won it.
Okay.
think there's no
I'm going to give you the final scores in reverse order. Drum roll.
Darren, -2.
Darren
You're
Cleary.
-1.
Darren Dublin Cleary -1, exactly.
My worst ever showing.
Bit of justice.
Tough one in fairness. Adrian Barry 0.
I'm okay with my 0.
And Tommy Rooney smashed it out of the park with 5. Seriously, you have got to go to Italy every weekend.
Grazie.
That's some ridiculously easy questions, but
It should be
regardless.
noted that Tommy actually finished last in this quiz last week.
Okay,
Actually,
one